With my friends, we could see how many young people and young children are lost and how they need to meet Jesus. And we start to pray. 12 years ago, we start to make this ministry. We start to have Elim-like organization, and we cooperate with church. Elim, it isn't a church, but we are Christian missionary organizations.
Vlastně pomáhá hlavně i těm, jako, jak to říct, neříkám, že vyloučeným, ale prostě těm, kteří tu pomoc potřebují trošku víc, kde třeba není tolik peněz na to, aby si platili kroužky. A je potřeba říct, že jsou velmi úspěšní ve své činnosti.
The festival that they hold, which is called Letfest, is a week-long festival where they pull in people from all communities, all ages, and where they are trying to introduce the gospel.
It's an amazing bridge for not-believer students in Czech Republic to church.
And the Letfest is about, hey, parents, come to see what's going on here, what we are doing, that here are Christians, and it's okay. And it's we cannot do Letfest without Americans, and especially Friendship Church.
The Friendship Youth are critical in this ministry. They bring such an energy with them each year for Letfest, and that energy carries out throughout the year. And we get questions throughout the year as leaders because of the seeds that were planted at Letfest, that those conversations that started.
It is cool to see these kids, the American kids, bonding with the Czech kids.
Statistically, Czech Republic is one of the most atheistic countries in the world, and thanks to history, people here are not that outgoing, not that talkative, and they don't trust people that much.
So the Czech church has been described as a church of manholes. During communism, they were forced underground, and they got pretty good at existing without truly fulfilling the Great Commission. And now that communism is gone, they've still got that culture of not reaching out, not doing much, and they're very small.
The church faces like challenges in that, like during communism, people just grew to like not trust institutions at all. So the institution of the church, even if someone's like, oh, I believe in God, but they would stay far away from any church.
A lot of people can say that, yes, I am Catholic and I am visiting a church, and they mean that they visit the church maybe on Christmas or Easter, just twice a year. Few percent of these people are real Christians, like they have a real relationship with Jesus.
And sometimes it takes Czechs a long time to warm up to something, to an idea of believing in God, while they were told their entire lives that God doesn't exist and it's nonsense. So they're not eager to commit to something without thinking it through. But I feel when they do think it through and when they do commit, they are more likely to be strong Christians. It maybe takes them 5 years. So we have people who've been coming for 5 years and then they committed and they got baptized and now they're leading their own church.
People's lives are changed, so I can see a lot of young people became a leader of Letfest, and they were students without any knowledge about church or God before. That's the biggest win in all of this.
Actually, Letfest was like one of the first places that I actually met with like Jesus and people talking about faith, like Christianity. My family is like non-believing, so I never really grew up in an environment that we would talk about these things. And when I would go to these workshops and seminars, and I kept hearing more about God and Jesus' life, it just made me so inspired, and I just felt this peace in me and love. And then in 2019, I gave my life to Jesus through one of the Americans here, Kendra. She lives here in Letovice, and she was kind of like my spiritual leader. Oh, okay. Yesterday I got baptized, so yeah. Letfest is like the main reason why I started to believe.
It takes year after year after year, week after week after week of faithfully building these relationships, and that is part of Czech culture. It takes a lot of time and effort, and our missionaries have to celebrate some of those small victories when the soil is so hard. It's a tough culture to be ministering in, and the Holy Spirit is meeting their needs, and He's bearing fruit. But sometimes it's hard to see that, even from the missionaries. And so pray that they would know the truth, not believe lies, and pray for their perseverance.